So let's talk about authenticity, because I think our number one eventual problem that we come out of religious trauma with is that we find it hard to be authentic. And I'm gonna tell you quite a bit more about myself for the next minute or two because it's all relevant to how I learned to live more authentically. When I was about 19, Joe, who I had been dating for a couple of years at that point and who I eventually married, when I was about 19, he broke up with me because he said he felt like he never knew who I was. I was such a people pleaser that he had trouble even figuring out how to relate to me or figure out what was true, what I truly thought, what I truly felt. He just felt like he didn't know how to relate to me because there almost wasn't a me there. I was just so busy people pleasing, and of course I was absolutely devastated. Um, but it also turned out to be one of the best things that anyone could ever have done for me. And I remember after he broke up with me, just sitting and thinking and trying to figure out, do I have a self? Like, where is it? What would that be? What would that feel like? Like, I really felt lost. Um, but I kept paying attention to it and just kind of sitting with it and kind of feeling around like, what would myself be? For some people, this would be such an odd thing to hear me talk about. And for other people, they'll be like, oh, yeah, I feel that way every day. Um, but I remember one day, months later, realizing this is just one example, but I noticed that if I actually said the things that were running through my head instead of holding them back, that I was actually pretty hilarious. And so I noticed that my sense of humor was a part of me. And then I started to notice that my interests and my likes and dislikes were actually a part of me. And I noticed that a lot of my skills, like being really, really good with little kids, those were a part of me. And I gradually became more and more aware of the things that were authentic to me, that had just always been there, that I had taken for granted, that I just thought everybody was supposed to have or to know, whatever. It took a lot of time and it took a lot of work. And of course, I still catch myself trying to people please sometimes. This is not something that I've completely eradicated from my life or that I'm never going to do again. But gradually, more and more, I came to get a feel for what was part of me, what was authentic for me, what I actually liked, what I actually disliked. Um, so, how do we help people find their authenticity? How would I help you find your authenticity if you're looking for it? Um, One of the things that I do is really encourage people to find the things that bring them joy and then do more of those things. It might sound trivial, but it's not. It's not the least bit trivial. Um, this is also part of why I have a very body positive and fat positive perspective. I refuse to turn myself inside out, denying my body what it wants in order to try to be slim all the time. I eat very healthily, but I also eat stuff that I like, including stuff that is not healthy. I don't have any kind, I don't do that rigidly. Um, and I work with people on these things, and we talk about what did you love to do when you were a little kid? Most of us, even if we were really over controlled as small children, still had things that we loved to do. We probably got to roll down a hill at some point, or run really fast, or watch a sunset, or watch bugs, or eat ice cream, or color with crayons, or listen to music, or hug a pine tree, or lie on our backs and look at the clouds, um, or play ring around the rosy, or on and on and on. All those things that we loved to do, those things are authentic to us. Those are part of our authenticity. If you love music, that's part of what's authentic for you. If you love trees, that's part of what's authentic for you. If you love to draw, that's part of what's authentic for you. There's so many things that you're already doing that are integral to what is real for you and what keeps you grounded. Um, it's all really important stuff. It takes a while to learn, but it is so very, very rewarding. And so that's just an introduction to it. There's a lot more that I could tell you, but authenticity is the direction in which you want to head. It is very, very important. And in just a few minutes, we're going to wrap up the rest of this presentation. And I think that's it for now on authenticity. It's like Such a big, important topic. And yet I can't talk about all of it here because we'd be here all day, but you can learn it. You can learn to get more in touch with yourself. Up next, we're going to briefly go back over our list of thorny traits, massive strengths, and how we heal, just as part of our wrapping up process before we end the class.